report 7. First is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now you can sit down if you want. Wasn't going to make you stand. Okay, the Title VI, ADA Title VI grievance forms as well as a voluntary public involvement survey are available in the hanging law files for anyone interested. Next the agenda is the approval of minutes. I'll make a motion that we approve minutes since our last regularly scheduled meeting.
I'll second.
Motion made by Albert, second by Mrs. Pothorsky to approve the minutes. Any discussion? Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Deal?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the approval of claims. I'll make a motion we approve the claims.
I'll second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Deal to approve the claims. Any discussion? Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Deal?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. Next, the utilities. MCO report. Good evening, Nathan.
Hello there. Ready to report him? I'm going to be there.
Well, technically, yes, you have to go to police.
And
And just because it's you.
You look great on camera, don't worry.
You've got the face for radio.
That's what my wife says too.
My wife says the same thing.
We continue work with Bowen and McMahon on design and planning the water plant and the water main project. We're still, believe it or not, finishing up the wastewater project. There's a couple of small projects we're still doing, and so it's taking up quite a bit of time. Land acquisition for the new wells is proceeding. We're in pretty much at 90% design for the new water plant. So the distribution system we're still working on. The old generator for the old wastewater plants has been moved to the water plant. We'll have it wired up so we can have it'll be a backup to the trailer one that's there. After the project's done, there'll be 2 new generators there. So just because the building will be a lot bigger when the new facility's done. The locating of sewer lines due to the basically it's for the fiber going in. It's taking a ton of time. We've had several days where there's been 2 of us out locating. It seems like it's been never ending. One of the contractors is calling them in and they haven't made it to town yet. So we're going to have a discussion with them on it. They're calling in 2 or 3 miles up for us from Marvin Utilities, so it's kind of crazy. The Comcast did existing service with a house that had been demolished on Valparaiso Street. We didn't know it was there, so the town's responsibility to repair. We called D&M, they came to repair it. Corey and I have been discussing the new sewer policies. And one of the things we should include in that is anytime someone makes a new tap in an existing home, the homeowner should be required to go back and disconnect the old service from the main. Because that's basically what happened on this. They tore the house down, they shut it off at the property line and called it. So it basically tore the service out of the day. Luckily, we didn't have to shut the whole main down. Water usage has increased some. We may have a leak. It's kind of hard to tell since the Westville Correctional Center it's added one. It has 2 taps that they're using the water out of one of the taps. And I think they're estimating. I don't know. I guess the Lord's got one read, but I think they're estimating about 40,000 gallons a day.
Which one?
The
powerhouse one?
Yes.
I don't have it.
It's 30 to 40,000 a day.
So it'll be a substantial bill revenue. We did attend the local finance for the meeting and portage, which is required. As far as GIS go, we're out now, since we've been doing all these locates, we found all the shut-offs, so we're actually got Alec Cannon was working for us this summer, and he's been doing that for the past couple of days. Hopefully we get almost every water shut-off that we can find on the map, so then we can go back, start verifying. This will come in handy with GIS when we get into the lead and copper, which we're moving forward with looking to see which services we have to replace for the lead services. There are no true lead services, but there are a lot of lead goosenecks in the old part of town. The original water system had short sections of lead, and then it went to the galvanized line. We talked to McMahon today. We're looking into how we can do that as part of this water project and get those all replaced too. They really need to come out. It's going to be a burden to the town if we don't do it now. It's going to happen eventually. So if we can do it with this project, it would be a wise investment. We were planning to finish a manhole survey and get some sanitary sewer cleaning done, but we haven't got time. Other than that, that's pretty much it's good. Any questions?
Thank you. And tomorrow afternoon, Sturgeon will have a meeting with property owner where we're going to put in the wells for the acquisition property for the wells in the well field. 2 wells is what it would be. So we're in the Port Barn. We have acquired that water main passing Durham between in the Conservancy District. We haven't done anything with the meters yet since there's no one hooked into it. Just something to throw out there. It's quite possible we're going to have individuals or groups looking to hook into our water main. And obviously we want to eventually annex them. But if it was something where we, like, say, example, one lot, we're not going to go through the problem to, annex a 100 by 200 foot parcel that we think about doing a pilot on it where they pay payment in lieu of taxes. So they would pay every year to be hooked into our water in addition to paying the bill, tapping fee, but also like they were in town, you would get money from what they would pay in taxes even when they're not annexed. For example, I think Dollar General is hooked into the Conservancy District for sewer and they pay a pilot. They're not a member of the Conservancy District, but they pay like they're paying taxes. So that's something we probably should think about, just throwing it out there for right now. I'll have something probably next meeting. That's all I have on utilities. Anybody else have any? Streets?
All I have is we have 5 different lots that the grass is over. I spoke with Bubba and he reached out to Corey and I guess the letters have been sent out.
Okay.
Other than that, that's all I have for streets.
Okay. Anybody else have anything on streets? Parks?
We got nothing. They just started digging the court.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
Yeah, hopefully the way they were talking that maybe by the end of the week they might be forming it up or whatever.
Yeah. Looks.
They were out there shooting grade, figuring out what materials they need and everything. So that looks pretty good. I got a call from a girl from Purdue Northwest. They're having and I forwarded it to Olga, they're having a college formula car competition. And it's international IC system.
Yeah, I thought it was Formula SAE.
Yeah. SAE.
Is that what it is?
Yep, it's Purdue Northwest Formula SA18 car show.
And they want to do the car show tentatively. They like to use Prairie Meadow Park on September 7th, which I don't know if we have anything going
I
on
need
there.
to look at the schedule.
But they would like to use, like they do for the Pumpkin Fest, the outfields, the softball. If that doesn't work, I was thinking putting them down the road, going back to the pavilion. But does anybody have?
No, but their little slideshow is very nice.
Yeah, I didn't wait for it to load up, but it's like a PowerPoint. But it's seems like it's a pretty good cause. If we want to let them use it on the 7th of September, oh, she'll check.
No, I think it'd be good to have them. I think it'd be interesting and, you know, what do you think?
I think it would be great. Oh, yeah, I think it'd be amazing. I mean, it looks so cool. Yeah, let's do it.
It's open as of right now. That's a Sunday.
That's right, a Sunday.
September 7th, yeah. It's
Is
open.
You want to make that a motion?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we look, are we available? Sorry.
7th, yes.
Yeah, I make a motion that we let PNW use the Prairie Meadow Park for the.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Korsky, seconded by Mr. McMahon, that we allow the group from Purdue Northwest to use Prairie Meadow Park on September 7th for their car event. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Deal?
Yes.
Albert Wiltshire passes 5-0. You want to get in touch with her?
Yeah, I'll send
by
her,
chance?
I'm looking at the name now, I'm just, no, I don't know.
Okay. Anything else on parks?
No, sorry, no, sorry.
Police?
Just. See, for June, we had 258 calls for service, 53 traffic stops, 16 assists for fire and EMS. For vehicle crashes, there were 8 property damage, 6 injury, 1 deer, and 2 fatality crashes we assisted on. 1 assist for vehicle pursuit, and 41 disturbance type calls. We got new fire extinguishers deployed to the vehicles. They're designed for vehicle fires. I deployed that twice for different things. One just as a test on what it's capable of, and one during a vehicle fire. And still undecided on how I like them. I think they're better than the power extinguishers, but they're meant for that purpose. So we'll see how that goes. The F-150 is repaired and back up and running and on the road. Matt's happy to be back in his big new truck. And that's all I've got for that portion.
Okay.
And then I sent an email to you guys about the EMR portion for our medical training. So I guess it's kind of an overview of that for anybody that didn't get the email for it. Myself and Chief Deputy Wolf are going to EMR training, emergency medical responder. It's the same entry, the minimum requirements like the volunteer fire departments have. So that was give us the ability to do a little more on the medical calls, because we're generally get there 5 to 10 minutes before EMS or volunteer fire gets there. So as opposed to standing and twiddling our thumbs, depending on the severity of it, and we'll be able to take a significant, more active approach as far as our actions go for those calls. As it stands now, so we have overtime approved, and that's specifically for vacant shift coverages. As opposed to the back and forth of adjusting schedules for me and Matt, to compound the issue of the shifts that we have open now, I would like to pay those hours out as far as overtime goes. Most of that would be on Matt's end. I would be mostly adjusted between the different doctor's appointment stuff that I have, so I don't think there's any incurred cost on my end. And most of Matt's stuff would all be paid out straight time because it would fall into those hours where they pay out at straight time. It's still overtime, but it's straight time pay rate.
Okay. What is that? We just need to expand.
Yeah, it's the last 10, you guys gave them overtime through August 9th, so you can,
Yeah, this will run through, EMR training will run to September 27th. I don't think there's a need to extend the overtime for the shift coverages any more than what it's set for now. This would be specifically for the EMR training, you know, so.
You're good with that? Yeah. Want to make that motion? You want me to make a motion? Second.
You can do that.
Make a motion that we pay overtime for EMR medical training up to September 27th, 25.
A second.
And, okay, motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Deal. Any discussion? Mrs. Peforski?
Yes.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Deal?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. I knew you were writing and more focus, and I do that quite a bit too, so we're good. Okay, ordinance 2025-3.
So for the golf cart ordinance, there's a modification for the registration stickers would be placed. Right now, they can be placed anywhere. There's, without searching and driving around a golf cart to actually find it, there's no easy way for an officer on patrol to see whether they have the valid registration or not. Golf carts have exploded as far as usage goes, so to be able to efficiently enforce and make sure that people have them properly registered, it's an issue for us now. So we modified it to where the sticker has to be placed on the slow moving sign envelope. That's universal that way, and we'd be able to see that from 500 feet away. We can see at least whether they have a sticker or not, and once we get closer to it, we can see if it's a valid current sticker. I believe the only thing we changed was the yellow strobe from the lighter, or the amber strobe for the lighting, but I'm not sure why that's, I think that's an old requirement. We phased that portion out.
Okay. We have ordinance 2025-3, an ordinance of the town of Westville, Indiana, amending ordinance 2013-6, regulating the use of golf carts on streets within the town of Westville, Indiana. Whereas the Westville Town Council has determined that golf cart rules and regulations when driven on the streets within town limits must be as follows. Now therefore be it ordained by the Town Council of the town of Westville, LaPorte County, Indiana, that ordinance 2025 shall be amended to read as follows. That should be 2013-6.
I typed that. Say that again.
Ordinance 2013-6 should be amended to read
What do I have?
2025-3.
Okay, can change it.
We'll edit this out of the tape, no big deal.
That's okay.
Except for people recording on their VCRs at home, and you can't get rid of that. Sure.
Section 5, page 2 of ordinance 2013-6 is hereby revised and amended to state as follows. Golf carts shall not be operated on town streets during 1/2 hour after sunset to 1/2 hour before sunrise unless the golf cart is equipped with 2 operating headlights, 1 on each side of the front of the golf cart, 2 operating tail lights with brake lights, 1 on each side of the rear of the golf cart, which are visible from a distance 500 feet. Section 13, page 3 of ordinance 2013-6 is hereby revised and amended to state as follows. A valid current registration inspection sticker must be affixed to the slow-moving vehicle emblem on the back of the golf cart at all times while operating on the town streets. Except as expressly modified by this ordinance, all other parts or provisions of ordinance 2013-6 shall remain in full force and effect. If any portion of this ordinance should be held invalid or unconstitutional by any court of competent jurisdiction, such decision will not affect any other portion or provision of this ordinance. All ordinances or parts of ordinance inconsistent with this ordinance are hereby repealed to the extent of such inconsistency. It is provided, however, that such repeal shall only be to the extent of such inconsistency. In all other respects, the ordinances or parts of ordinances are hereby ratified, reestablished, and confirmed. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its adoption and any procedures required by law. I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance 2025-3 on the first reading.
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Deal to approve ordinance 2025-3 on the first reading. Is there any discussion? Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Deal?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. Now I'll make a motion that we suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2025-3.
I'll second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mrs. Pothorsky to suspend the rules and adopt ordinance 2025-3. Any discussion?
Yes. I'm just gonna correct the first page, just so you know, so it'll be correct in the binder.
Oh, okay. So noted. Any discussion on adopting? Mrs. Pothorsky?
Yes.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Deal?
Yes.
Albert votes yes. Passes 5-0. Finance, or is there anything else on police? Okay, thank you. Anything on finance?
No.
Westville Fire Activity Report, we have nothing here from Westville Fire Department. Employee Handbook, had a couple of suggestions on the handbook. Business travel expenses is $30 per day for meal expenses. That's probably kind of low. Probably spend $30 at McDonald's on one lunch. So suggestion is to change that to 50.
Yeah.
And want to do these all in one big fell swoop? Okay. The adjusted work schedule is permitted within the 2-week pay period in order not to exceed a total of 80. It should be adjusted work schedule revised to an adjusted work schedule is permitted in any week within the 2-week period in order not to exceed a total of 40 hours per week. Instead of covering the 2-week 80-hour pay period, it covers the 40 hours a week in regard to overtime. And what was the other
The
one?
benefit time, the vacation time,
Oh,
going from.
and vacation time. It's, Lori, do you want to, what it is and what it's,
Yeah, for the first year, they're not eligible for vacation for the first year, and then after the first year, they get, right now, it's 80 hours up to 10 years. And then after the 10th full year, it's 120 hours. I would like to amend that to 1 through 5 years, minus the first year because they're not eligible, being 80 hours, 6 through 10 years being 120, and then 11 and up 160. So it's like 2, 3, and 4 weeks.
okay. Okay, so I will make a motion that we adopt,
And like real quick,
yeah,
was there also something on work boots for reimbursement?
Just broke. What?
I didn't mean to upset you, Lori. Wasn't there something on work boots?
Well, that
for
was for
reimbursement?
clothing allowance, which I'm still going through things, but I just didn't know if that work boots are on top of the 300 they already get, or is that part of the 300?
Is that something that is in that too, or is that?
That's I just list the clothing allowance in the handbook. It isn't specific to.
Is that something we can circle back to at the next meeting then? Okay.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I try to keep up on everything.
so I'll make a motion that we make those changes to the personnel handbook for the overtime with the adjusted work schedule, vacation earned, and brain fart in here.
The per diem.
And the per diem. Yeah, well, we don't go out very much, so it doesn't matter. And the per diem from 30 to 50 per day.
Botch that one up real bad.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Watkins to make those changes to personnel handbook. Is there any discussion?
Yes. Or,
Mrs.
yes. You looked at me, I was ready.
Mr. McMahon?
Yes.
Mr. Watkins?
Yes.
Mrs. Deal?
Yes.
Albert votes yes, passes 5-0. You're right on top of it.
I don't want to waste time.
They're getting in everybody's head.
I think, okay, citizens' comments. Who's, you're here about this fence.
Yes, again.
Okay, they have, our building department, our building commissioner has sent them letters. Right now, that's the first step of making.
There's a process they have
There's
to
a process
follow.
they have to follow.
So this is the second warning then?
I don't know. I'd have to ask Charlie. I'm not sure.
When was the last one, Ray?
A couple of years ago when I came in here.
Well, did they make the repair?
Well, you actually told us you were gonna look into whoever owns the property, investigate, whatever.
Michael actually had some repairs made to the fence then.
Pardon me?
Michael actually had some repairs made to the fence at that time, and then since then the semis have backed into it again.
No.
No, yeah, Michael actually did make. They did. I saw that. So they did actually make repairs to that fence.
Not for legal.
Not perhaps down the entire fence, but I think the fence, the part that he got the letter on, and since then semis have backed into that.
But what about all the garbage
There.
and stuff?
That
Is he
could
not
be,
responsible for cleaning
the truck
that up?
stop behind the truck stop.
There's a slew of letters even ready to go.
Okay.
I have to get with you to see who actually owns that. So
Okay.
I don't know if it goes to the owner or the owner and everybody in Renton, because there's
Oh,
4 or 5 tenants
Yeah.
to that group of property, but
Yeah.
they're getting ready to get a multiple
Okay.
violation letter.
Okay.
I was gonna say, isn't there a rule in your, somewhere in the,
Yeah, ordinances of town.
it says that they're fined if they're not?
Right.
I don't know if that's in your ordinance or not.
Yeah, it is.
So the camper that's there and any like the trash that's accumulating that there's not cleaned up and some of the leaves and stuff, that'll fall across the fence. Like, I don't know, that wouldn't fall under
Right.
anything for me, I don't think.
So all the
That's probably
auto parts that are back there in the ordinance, all that stuff.
So it's yes and potentially no. So depending on what part it's at, I have to look and apply it correctly, because I don't know what all, the place that does the vehicle repairs, they have a separate set of rules within reason for like vehicles being in their yard.
Well,
But it can't be like what it is now, sir.
well, I was just gonna say, the ordinance doesn't specify a certain person, it just specifies all the trash, can't have auto parts, old parts, which is,
Well, it depends what it depends what it's zoned also. There's also ordinances that he has, and then the zoning ordinance. So depending on what that area is zoned, determines what you're allowed to pay out there.
you mean,
Yeah, and then
you're
who
allowed
enforces
to
that?
have old tires?
I
all
don't
that
know.
stuff.
I
Well,
have-
it says right in the ordinance, Lori.
But I don't know
that you can't have that.
which ordinance are you looking at? One of ours?
2007-1.
Okay, that's an ordinance that the police enforce. In the zoning ordinance, it could read differently because of what that area is zoned. So that's what Charlie's been doing. He's been working on that whole area, depending on, because it is, if it's zoned M1 or light industrial,
So
it very well could have that. I just don't know.
Then you can throw all the trash that you want back there.
No, that's the problem. You have zoning ordinance and then you have ordinances that he can enforce.
Right.
So that's the difference.
Well, then why isn't
So-
he enforcing them?
He just said he sent
just
letters out.
sending letters out to
Why don't
them.
you find them?
You gotta.
There's a process. You
Ray,
can't
you have
just
to
do
follow a process. You
I
can't just
know,
go find
the
them.
process started about 3 years ago,
And
when I told you,
And if
Am I
it was
just talking
taken,
about
and
it?
if it was taken care of, or if it wasn't, you contact us again. We can't go 3 years to go, well, this is the second warning.
Yeah, Ray, Michael did repair parts of that fence. Michael Gans owns that property. He's leasing it, or he's selling it on land contract to the gentleman that's
if he's
running it.
responsible for the fence, he should repair the whole thing.
I understand that. I don't know what sections he repaired then, but I know repairs were made. And I think it satisfied the zoning ordinance at that time. That's how I'm understanding it. Again, Charlie's not here, so I don't know what
That's not
conversation.
possible.
I don't know.
That fence is in our yard.
Because it keeps getting backed into by the semis,
No,
correct?
because it's rotted. The wood is rotted.
But it's gotten knocked over from this, I used to live there, I lived there a long time, I know. It gets knocked over by the semis, I know exactly what it does. However, there's two different sets of ways that this has to get approached. Zoning ordinance and ordinance violations
So
are,
they knock it over, then we have to go through all this again?
the letters can still go out. I mean, Charlie does a lot, we send letters out every year at the beginning of the year to the places that need notifications, but, I mean, there's processes too.
And then evidently they just ignore you.
Again, I don't send those letters, our building commissioner does. Perhaps they've answered them, I don't know.
Who's the building commissioner?
Charlie Ray.
That's our neighbors.
Boss.
Tommy. Who? Tommy. So that's where we're at. The letters will be going out.
And when will that be?
I can look at what ours qualified for and have them sent out tomorrow.
I know you have a stack ready, yeah.
And so how long before if they don't respond, do they have
I believe.
a deadline or?
So part of some of the confused, so we're going with the ordinances that we enforce because they're just each one has its own set of rules and it's hard for my guys to even enforce it uniformly. So we're looking at redoing all of the ordinances and putting them as like quality of life things to make it easier for my guys to enforce them and be on the same page with everything. I believe those violations I believe they get 7 days from the generation, like actually sending the letter to them.
And then they get fined?
No,
Because it is a health
that's
issue.
fine.
I have little kids in my backyard and there's urine bottles. A lot.
That's, like, I'm aware of, like, the issue with, like, the weeds that get overgrown along the fence line and the camper and things along those lines. That's the first that I've.
We even went to the health department. They said they couldn't do anything about it. It has to be the town.
Yeah, we only pay taxes to the health department.
Which, we're very good at that.
On Fairview.
756 Fairview Avenue.
North third of it. Okay. Anything else?
I do have one little question. You guys were talking about golf carts and the new stickers. Does that just mean to the new ones? How about the guys that have the old stickers or the old?
We renew, right?
Every year you have to get your license,
So
your
as
tag renewed.
they're renewed, so if you already have a renewal for this year, it's not anything that's gonna be enforced or anything like that, but it's on the renewal form, so as you go in from this point forward and renew, it's listed as part of the requirements on that form.
Anything else? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion made by Albert, seconded by Mr. Watkins to adjourn at 7:34. Is there any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Meeting adjourned.